Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Wishwell Farms. Today we are harvesting greenhouse tomatoes. Thank you for joining me on the farm again, everybody. It is going to be a beautiful blue sky day and full sunshine. I can barely see the camera, it's so bright out, but this is a day that we have been waiting for quite some time. Our tomato harvest has been delayed about 10 days this year due to the cold, cloudy conditions this past winter. Things took off a little slower than normal. They have since caught up, and today we are finally going to have our first decent greenhouse tomato harvest. It's still not going to be big, and we have picked a handful of tomatoes last week, but today is going to be the first harvest where we actually need to take our wheelbarrows and picking tubs to the greenhouse and pack them into boxes, and I'm going to show you that process that we use. So we're going to start right here. We use these small wheelbarrows, and we take 2 picking lugs into the greenhouse at a time. We will actually turn them like this so they're stackable instead of nestable. We will fill this tub with about 2 layers of tomatoes so it's about level, and then we will move it out of the way. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Let the full one go to the bottom of the wheelbarrow and put the other empty one on top. And then we put about 3 layers on this one. We'll actually round this one up a little bit. And then we'll bring the tubs in here, line them up on these tables. We have 4 tables that we pack tomatoes on, and there'll be 2 more back here when we're up and rolling in full production. These are the tomato boxes that we are packing in. We got white ones and brown ones, but they're the same single layer 10-pound flat. So we will bring a stack of boxes down here beside our yellow tubs full of tomatoes, open the lids up and pack the tomatoes in these boxes, 1 layer stem facing up. We will pack 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. And then we will also have a yellow tub on the ground for putting secondhand scratch and dent type tomatoes to sell at a discounted price. Like I mentioned already, it's going to be a small harvest today, but at least we're getting started. We'll probably just fill 2 or 3 of these tubs today, so it's not a lot. Once we get up and rolling in full production, we should be filling 25 to 30 of these every other day. We pick on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Emma's going to be the one picking tomatoes today. We're going to start down in the grape tomato greenhouse. And the main reason we do that is because we need to get them picked before the water turns on. If we pick after the irrigation starts, we run the risk of having some of the fruit, or the little grape tomatoes, splitting and cracking on us. So we always start down there, get them picked while it's cool, before it gets hot and before the irrigation starts at around 9 to 9:30. So we'll get those out of the way, and then we will head into greenhouse planting number 1 and actually start harvesting red round beefsteak type tomatoes. And there's actually a handful in greenhouse planting number 2. They actually came on a hair early, and these came on a hair late, so they're almost running into each other, but it's not going to be too bad of an overlap. I'll take anything I can get right now because we need tomatoes for the farmers markets. One of the problems with growing in Dutch Beto buckets, with the trellis only being about 7.5 feet off the ground, is that the ripe fruit tends to be near the ground. You can see this little cluster of tomatoes here is actually touching the ground. I would prefer them to be up here about knee high, but sometimes when we start picking early in the season, they are a little bit low to the ground. You can see there's a lot of green tomatoes, but we got some turning. We will pick this color today with this nice orange blush color. The ones that are still turning, they're kind of yellowish green. We will leave those for the next harvest, and that will be ready. Today's Friday, by the way. This will be ready on Monday. And that one will probably be ready on Wednesday. There's a nice cluster. That will get picked today. That will get picked on Monday. So you can see there's a lot of tomatoes out here, but very few turning colors. Let's check out another row. The ones we were just looking at were Geronimo. This is Torero. Some decent color up in this area of the greenhouse. So like I said, it's not a lot, but it's something. There's a nice one. I'm now up in greenhouse planting number 2. They are loaded down. And just a few tomatoes here and there that are starting to turn. Just enough that we're going to have to come through here and harvest. Man, those are some whoppers. Woo! This is the next row over. This is Geronimo. That's a big one. Geronimo looks really good in here this year. And we always get larger tomatoes in greenhouse planting number 2 just because they've had more sunlight during late winter and early spring. Just look at these. Those are almost 1 pound tomatoes. And right here is one that's turning colors, and 2 more down there. You know, we got to pick those and get them out of the greenhouse. And by picking off some of those ones that are starting to turn in here, will promote quicker ripening of the next set of tomatoes behind the ripe one. Very happy to finally see some tomatoes ripening, but we are cutting it close to having a good supply on hand for Memorial Day weekend next Saturday, the 24th. Tomorrow is May 17th. We're only going to 2 locations, and we're going to have very few grape tomatoes to take to those 2 farmers markets. I will not be taking any of these red round beefsteak type tomatoes because I need to stockpile them for next weekend. I need 150 to 200 boxes for next Saturday, and we're not going to have it. I mean, I can tell we're so far behind, we will not have it. Maybe we'll have 50 to 80, I don't know. So this is going to cost me huge. We're starting off on the wrong foot for 2025. I would like to bring in a substantial amount of cash flow next Saturday, but it's not going to happen because we don't have the product ready, and that is because the plants were behind this year from lack of sunlight and heat and cloudy days during the transplant growing stage during January and February and March. It is a little concerning, but I know everything will still turn out okay. But I can't get this weekend back. It's our first big weekend of farmers market sales. I can't get it back. If you miss it, you miss it. And the season doesn't continue on longer for me to get that weekend back where we have no tomatoes. So it could potentially cost me $5,000 or $6,000 next Saturday if I don't have a good stockpile of tomatoes ready to go at the farmers markets. We will see what happens. All right, the employees are starting to show up. We're gonna head down and get the grape tomatoes picked. All right, we're working on getting the grape tomatoes out of here. They're looking a little better. There's a good area right here. All kinds of red grape tomatoes ready for harvest. We're still not even close to being in full production, but they are looking better. So once we get up to full production, we should be getting close to 20 or more flats every other day. Today, we're guessing we're gonna get around 6. So we're not even close to full production, but just glad these are finally ramping up and looking really good. Some of the red ones are so hidden back in there, sometimes it's hard to get them out without knocking off a green tomato, but it does happen from time to time. Early in the season, the stem likes to stay on the tomato, but they pop off really easily. And as we progress into the season a little further, most of the time they will stay on the plant. They have a little breaking joint there, at the, like a knee joint. I'm not sure what it's called, like an abscission layer. But they usually stay on the plants pretty easily, which definitely speeds things up. If you pick them right, if you kind of slide them while you pick them, it like slides the stem right off the tomato. If you snap the tomato, bend it sideways, the stem will stay on. But they kind of just slide off if you pick them right. What's your tattoo?
This one? Moon phases.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's really obvious now.
Yeah. It's weird looking when someone looks at it normally. I'm like, what is that?
There's that black mold I've been seeing. Right there, so like little black speckles. The GoPro does not focus real well. Sorry guys, that's all the better I can show you this little mold issue. I don't know if it's something I need to be concerned about, but I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. I'm trying to keep it organic in here, but if it's gonna cost me part of my livelihood to let this get out of hand, I'm willing to spray whatever it takes to get this under control. Yeah, the majority of the plants look great. But then every now and then you see a little speck of that mold, and I think it's gonna spread fast. All right, we just started picking greenhouse tomatoes. Oh, there's tub number 1. And now we're working on tub number 2. So this is the color that we'll probably leave, but we're definitely picking this color here. And when we pick them, they have like a little knee or a knuckle there where they break off real easy, but we're taking the stems off instead of leaving them on. I mean, if we wanted them to look like a traditional hydroponic tomato, we would leave them on, but we run the risk of them poking the other tomatoes, and we don't really have a reason to keep the stems on the tomatoes. It makes them easier to be turned upside down for display on our tables. Sometimes we display them this way, sometimes this way. There's a nice red one right there. Well, nice and orange, I guess I should say. Sometimes they stay on the tomato truss like this one did. It popped right off. Just like the great tomatoes, early in the season, they tend to stay on the tomatoes. Later in the season, this will always happen. And if you pick them right, they will stay on the tomato truss a lot of times. Sometimes you can't get them off. If they don't want to come out, we just leave them on there. I mean, we don't want to damage our tomato, right? Oh, and sometimes you knock off one that's just starting to turn. Doesn't really have any color to it. Maybe we could sell it with our green tomatoes. Some of these back here are a little bit smaller. Using a wheelbarrow with a couple tubs in it works really well, especially when we start picking a lot. You know, I'm just doing this so you guys can see what the tomatoes look like. I don't even normally pick these tomatoes. I got plenty of other things to keep me busy on the farm, but wanted to show you the color, how we pick them, and as soon as we finish up picking, we'll show you how we pack them. So when we have 2 full tubs, we roll it back to the barn to get it set on a table for packing. We try not to put 3 on there because it just gets too tipsy. And there's today's grape tomatoes. Probably 7 or 8 flats, maybe. Once we get really rolling on tomato harvest, like I said earlier in the video, we'll have 4 tables completely full. We'll have probably 3 or 4 people harvesting and packing all the tomatoes every other morning. So by next week, it'll be a sea of red down through here instead of a sea of green. Yeah, that's a nice one. Oh man, this might be the nicest one of the day. That is a whopper. That is a big old slicing sandwich tomato right there. I might just eat that one myself for lunch. So the others are still working in one of the greenhouses doing some plant maintenance, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how we pack our tomatoes. So we line them up on the back of the table like this, and then I like to have 3 of our boxes in front of me, one for smalls, mediums, and larges. So this would be considered a medium-sized tomato. And obviously these would be large or jumbo. Doesn't take very many of them to fill up a box. And if we get one like this with a blemish or a scar of some kind, we will put that into a seconds tub to sell it at a discounted price. So it looks like mostly everything is large and medium right now. Not too many smalls. There's some smalls right there. So, you know, anything from golf ball size up to, you know, a little smaller than a tennis ball. Now, when we take these to the farmers markets, the big jumbos will all be out on the table loose for the customers to pick their very own tomato that they want to buy. And the mediums will often be divided between being set out loose for those who want to just buy a medium-sized tomato and not one of these jumbos. And they will also be mixed with some of the smalls to fill quart containers to sell kind of as a grab and go for like $6 or $7. So all of our smalls will be put in quart containers, and sometimes you got to throw a medium in there to make it come out to the right weight. So it's $3.50 a pound. So $3.50 a pound will be our starting price for the season, and then when we move into field tomatoes at the end of July, early August, we will probably lower our price to $2.95 a pound. So that's all there really is to it. Just sort all of our tomatoes out, into the right size box. Then when we get a full box, we close it up, bring another empty box over, and continue on. And when we get a stack of 3 or 4 high, we will pick it up and stack it on the pallet that I will have over here in front of the cooler door. Looks like we're only gonna have like 10 boxes today, so a very, very small pick. But this will hopefully ramp up soon. Hopefully by mid next week, we'll be picking a bunch, so we can have a nice pile of them to take to the farmers markets on Memorial Day weekend. Oh, and then we also have a box that we put green tomatoes in. These are ones that have fallen off the plant while working in the greenhouses. So we usually get a couple boxes a week of green tomatoes, and I never have a problem selling those because people like to make fried green tomatoes. So many of you may be wondering, why are we picking them so light colored? This is probably actually a little lighter than we normally pick. I like them to have kind of that nice blush orange color on them. Once they get really red, like these, they get damaged very easily in the picking and the packing process. And if we damage a tomato, I have to discount it to a cosmetically challenged tomato. That's what we call them, cosmetically challenged, kind of our seconds or scratch and dent tomatoes. These lighter colored tomatoes that you see right here will be as dark as these in probably 3 or 4 or 5 days. So it doesn't take very long. Once the tomato starts showing color like this, it is fully mature, and it is not going to increase in sugars or flavor in the tomato. It will fully ripen to its fullest potential of flavor and sugars. So in order for us to stay ahead of our tomato harvest and not let them all get red on the vine, we want to pick them when they're kind of a lighter orange color, so they don't get damaged as easily, and we can kind of stage them in our tomato cooler, which we keep at around 60 to 65 degrees. And these will be nice and red and ready to sell for Memorial Weekend, 8 days from now. All right, we're all finished packing. Everything's in the cooler, and this is all we got. So 20 some boxes of tomatoes and about 7.5 flats of grape tomatoes here. All of that here would barely even be enough for one of our smaller farmers markets, and some of our larger ones would need 3 times more than what we even have in here. So it's not looking very promising for Saturday the 24th, Memorial Weekend, as our big kickoff farmers market day. We're still gonna go to all of them, but we won't have them all maxed out. I do have a lot of herbs and things like that that I wanna take that I need to move, so we're gonna go regardless. But I'm guessing it's gonna be May 31st before we have enough product to max out all of our trucks, which is gonna be like almost 200 boxes of tomatoes and probably 50 flats of grape tomatoes. So we got a ways to go, but things are gonna come on quick. Next week, after all this heat and sunshine we've been having right now, things are gonna really start ramping up fast. So that's kind of where we stand right now. Let me go show you what I have in the trucks to take for tomorrow. These are the 2 trucks that are going to markets tomorrow. So I got 5 flats of grape tomatoes, and I would need at least 15 to max this truck out. So they'll probably be gone in like an hour. This truck needs about 10, and they have 4. And we got a couple boxes of green tomatoes that I'm sure we'll be able to move, but no red tomatoes. I'm gonna stockpile those for 1 more week. Now you're probably wondering, how is it even worth going to market with only that much product? You're right, it barely is. But we will also be selling our sweet and hot pepper relish, a bunch of Joel's maple syrup, and he has like 6 different flavors. And we have basil, oregano, and cilantro and parsley, herb pots to sell, and those giant tomatoes, those leftover tomatoes I put in mum pots. So I think there was 20 of them. So we'll put all those things on here tonight when I'm loading these trucks, and it's not gonna be some huge farmer's market day for us tomorrow, but it's a start. And I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride. So I will see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning.